Today's discussion point: to nest or not to nest. Really what we're talking about is home automation. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to a buyer? How beneficial is it from a selling standpoint, from a buying use standpoint? Home automation. Nest is probably the most ubiquitous company product that just defines and signals home automation. See the Nest here on the wall. You can use an app. You can set it so it learns what you like in terms of heat, cold. Um, my Nest might be a little more schizophrenic because I like the temperature one way. My wife likes the temperature another way. So it doesn't really know who's dealing with us. But for most people, it learns what you like. It sets the temperature to where you want to be. You come home nice and warm. You go out. It shuts it down. It's supposed to save money. Now, whether it really does or not depends on the type of home that you live in and really what your heating bills are. I live in a modern condo, so the heating bills are relatively low in comparison to, say, living in a 1700s home. Simply because I have somebody above me, I have somebody below me, I have somebody on each side. They're heating, they're cooling. I have a hallway that's being heated and cooled, and it's relatively energy efficient on top of that. So I can almost have my heat off in the wintertime, and the temperature's really not going to drop below 55 in the coldest part of the winter because of everybody else around it. Now, I won't live at 55, but there's a tolerance there. So the Nest is more of a convenience for me than maybe a money-saving option. Other types of home automation, you're talking about lights, you're talking about music, door locks are very popular home automation, and how do all of these things get connected together is really the trick. I have a client that's spending several $100,000 getting all of his home automation connected. So he's got one pad that does pretty much everything except cook him dinner. It's great. It's a big investment. What's his return from it? It's a lifestyle choice, is his return. Now, when somebody comes in as a buyer and they're looking at home automation, the fact that you have a Nest is a big deal. It's like it says, okay, there's some focus on what the future is going to be like. More on the home automation side versus just a regular programmable thermostat. It does show another level of modernness, another level of technology. If you do a whole full home automation system with music and lights and everything, you're never getting that money back. Let me say that again. You're not getting the money back for the home automation beyond a couple of small things like locks and thermostats. In fact, it can be a hindrance to your sale because you're putting it all in and it better work. I had another client that went to buy a home and the seller had stripped out the Wi-Fi and all of the components that made the home automation actually function. So then we had to bring somebody in to reconnect everything. And it really turned into a nightmare that was not good for the buyer or the seller. So really, to recap, home automation, to nest, not to nest. I really recommend a Nest. I really recommend the automated door locks if you can get them. It really shows that it's just a nice way to live too, because you don't even have to worry about keys. You don't have to worry about setting the temperature. But it also shows, if you're a seller, that you're on the forefront of that technological movement. That's today's discussion point.